ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد ان سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله اما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم صدق الله العظيم. Respected scholars, beloved elders and brothers in Islam, Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Holy Quran لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قِصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Indeed, in the history, in the incidents that occur and that have occurred in the past, there is a lesson for you. Talking about lessons, respected elders and friends, one such incident that occurred right in front of us was the tragical event of earthquake in Turkey and Syria, where so many people lost their lives. The earthquake with the magnitude of 7.8, on the other occasion with the magnitude of 5.8, shook the whole of Turkey and Syria. More than 30,000 people died. More than 80,000 people were injured. The president announced level 4 assistance, which means that till the next 4 months, the aid and the assistance has to go in. Such a tragical event took place. And why should we talk about this? As Muslims, we should understand that especially with Turkey and Syria, as Muslims, we share Islamic history. This is an Islamic heritage. Let us start with Turkey. Upon one occasion, Prophet Muhammad was sleeping outside the house of Haram, and he suddenly woke up and he started smiling. So Hazrat Haram asked, "O Prophet of Allah, what makes you smile?" Prophet Muhammad said that, "O Haram, I saw the first naval Muslim army, the first army which is going to go in the battle and fight in the path of Allah through a ship. I saw the first army." So Hazrat Haram said that, "O Prophet of Allah, make dua for me that Allah makes me from that army." So Prophet Muhammad made dua for her, and then he went to sleep again. And then again, suddenly he woke up. So Hazrat Haram asked, "O Prophet of Allah, why did you wake up again?" So Prophet Muhammad replied that, "O Haram, I saw in my dream an army which is going to conquer Constantinople." Constantinople is Istanbul today, which is in Turkey. So I saw that army which is going to conquer Constantinople, and the leader of that army, such a great leader he is going to be, and that army is going to be such a great army. He gave that virtue and statement for the leader and for the army that was going to conquer Constantinople. It comes in narrations that the first prophecy that Prophet Muhammad made regarding Haram being part of the first army, it was done. That Haram actually participated in that battle. Talking about the second prophecy of Prophet Muhammad, where he said that an army is going to conquer Constantinople, so many people tried. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahmatullahi alayhi tried. Harun Rashid rahmatullahi alayhi tried, just to be part of the virtue of that statement of Prophet Muhammad but they didn't manage. 700 to 800 years later, after the prediction of Prophet Muhammad there came Ottoman Empire, which conquered Constantinople. And the way Ottoman Empire was initiated is something amazing. We must have all heard of this name, Usman Ghazi. I'm sure the youth, they know about this name because of this certain series or this certain program the youngsters are following. Usman Ghazi rahmatullahi alayhi. He is the man who initiated Ottoman Empire. And how he did that? Upon one occasion, you see, he was a very hospitable man. He used to invite people to his house. Tourists used to come to his house. They used to stay. And he used to take care of them. And the people who were staying around Usman Ghazi, they started objecting. They were not happy. The people are coming from outside. We are not happy with them. So Usman Ghazi had to leave the place. And he took refuge at the house of a pious person. And he went to sleep. When he went to sleep, the pious person also went to sleep. The pious person saw in his dream that someone is telling him that this man, Usman Ghazi, who is sleeping in your house, Allah Ta'ala has created him for a very great task. Allah Ta'ala has to take a lot of work from him. Go, remove him from your house. So the pious person woke up, and he woke up Usman Ghazi, and he said to him that, why are you hiding in my house? Go out, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has created you for a greater purpose. So Usman Ghazi was chased from the house. As he came out, there was some youth. They were seated in the jungle, and they were discussing matters related to Islam, about how the people, the Crusaders were invading into the Islamic territory, and how they were torturing and troubling people, and they should do something about it. They were discussing this. And they said that the first man who walks up to us now is going to be our leader. And at that moment, Usman Ghazi walked up to them, and they made him the leader. And from there, they went from one village to another, from one place to another, from one territory to another. Finally came a time where they conquered Constantinople. In the seventh or eighth generation of Usman Ghazi, a man by the name Muhammad al-Fatih came, a youngster. He conquered Constantinople. So they took up this task of fulfilling the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had made 700 years earlier. So that is our Islamic history with Turkey. Now let us go to Syria. What is our Islamic history with Syria? When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went for Mi'raj, and when he came back, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed some verses. And in one of the verses, Allah ta'ala mentions, Barakna hawla. We have blessed the surroundings of Masjid Aqsa. The scholars mention that the meaning of hawla, the meaning of surrounding, is Arde Sham. What is Arde Sham? Part of Jordan, part of Damascus, part of Palestine, part of Palestine, part of Syria. So it is Arde Sham. Upon one occasion, Prophet Muhammad was seated with the Sahaba, and he asked them that, what do you people have to say regarding Arde Sham? The Sahaba said, that, O Prophet of Allah, we don't know, you tell us. So Prophet Muhammad said that angels spread their wings on Arde Sham, which is Syria also. Angels spread their wings on Arde Sham. Upon another occasion, Prophet Muhammad said that the land between Arish and Furat is a blessed land. What is that land? It is Arde Sham. So Syria is also part of that Arde Sham, and it is a blessed land, and that is our relation as Muslims with Syria as well. Now, respected elders and friends, these are the two places that have been affected. So as Muslims, we are supposed to feel their pain. Obviously, as Muslims, we are supposed to feel the pain of any person, may he be a Muslim or not a Muslim. We are supposed to feel the pain of that person if he or she is going through difficulty. Then what more about that person who is a Muslim? There is an extra added responsibility on us as Muslims. And we don't have to do much. You know, something strange. On one side, such a tragical event has taken place. And on the other side, you find people uttering statements which are so disappointing, like, you know, they are going through this difficulty because of their sins. We can't say that. Who are we to judge? It is only Allah who knows. It is only Allah's wisdom why these things take place. When such things take place, you will find two extreme groups. One group to one end that is going to say that, you know, this is all because of science. Because minerals are removed from the earth, the gas is taken out, the gold is taken out, the copper is taken out. So now the earth has, the empty gap has been created in the earth, and the earth needs to go back to its place. And that is why the earth shakes. That is one extreme. Then you find another group to the other end. That no, this is all happening because it is the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where is it found in the hadith and in the Quranic verse that this is happening because of the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? There were so many people in the past, pious people, pious group. They were afflicted with a calamity. Can we say that they were afflicted with a calamity because it was the punishment of Allah? At the time of Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a plague came. More than 25,000 Sahaba, Tabi'een, Tabi'een lost their lives. Was that a punishment of Allah? We can't say that. It is only Allah who knows why a certain thing happens. It is only Allah's wisdom. We can't judge. Our responsibility in such situations is, there are two responsibilities upon every Muslim. The first responsibility is a very simple responsibility. A person doesn't have to be a board member of some great organization or a leader of some great community development project. No. 2 rakat salah. 2 rakat salah. That Allah help the people of Turkey and help the people of Syria. Allah grant them strength in this difficult moment of theirs. How many of us have done that rather than uttering statements like they are being punished by Allah? How many of us performed 2 rakat salah? Today let us all make intention. Before we go out from the Masjid, after our Jummah prayers, inshallah, we'll all perform 2 rakat salah for the people of Turkey and Syria. We'll all do that, inshallah. Inshallah. That is the first thing we can do. The second thing, which is the practical aspect, when such a disaster has to take place, when such a tragical event has to take place, the practical aspect has to come in. And Islam has emphasized on the practical aspect. And it is that when such disasters take place, the system crashes down. And when a system has to crash down, we have to help them back to get back to where they are supposed to be by sending financial aid, by sending physical aid, by involving ourselves physically. Our mental aid has to go in. That is the practical aspect. That is the practical aspect. And Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Holy Quran, respected elders and friends, to the people of Banu Israel, وَقَالَ اللَّهُ إِنِّي مَعَكُمْ. O Prophet, tell the people of Banu Israel, I am with them, my help is with them. But they are supposed to do certain things. What are they supposed to do? لَإِنْ أَقَمْتُمُ الصَّلَاةِ. They are supposed to perform their salah. وَآتَيْتُمُ الزَّكَاةِ. They are supposed to give out their mandatory charity. They are supposed to give out their zakah. وَعَزَّبْتُمُهُمْ. They are supposed to respect the people to whom they are giving their charity. وَأَقْرَضْتُمُ اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا. And they are supposed to give a good loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in need of loan? It's not in need of loan. What it means that we are supposed to spend in the path of Allah. Tomorrow on the day of Qiyamah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward us. That is like giving good loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now let us understand this verse deeply. There are certain actions mentioned in this verse, but 2 actions have been repeated. 2 actions have been repeated. Firstly, Allah is saying, perform your salah. Then He's saying, give zakat, give your mandatory charity. And then again Allah Ta'ala is saying, give a good loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means that after taking out your mandatory charity in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are supposed to be someone who's still spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are supposed to be that Muslim who's not only done with zakat, but we are still spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So alhamdulillah, there are so many bodies and there are so many organizations collecting funds for the same purpose. Let us try and involve ourselves. Let us try and follow this teaching of the Holy Quran, where Allah Ta'ala is telling us to spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And respected elders and friends, Muslims have a history where they have stood up on such moments. I read this article last year. I don't remember the exact information, but I remember some information from that article that upon one occasion, one tragical event took place, and the Muslims sent so much of assistance that the Queen of England at that time wrote a letter to the Muslims that you can't send this much of assistance because we also can't manage this much. There is going to be, it will be affecting our honor and our dignity. The Muslims on one side, they have sent so much of assistance, and we who have the kingdom, we didn't manage that much. That is the history of the Muslims, respected elders and friends. You know, we all know Hatim Tai. You must have heard of this name, Hatim Tai. This man was from the Arab. And whenever we talk about generosity, spending in the path of Allah, assisting people, this man's name is used as a signature. It is used as a symbol to identify generosity actually amongst the Arabs. Upon one occasion, someone asked him, that Hatim Tai, have you seen someone more generous than yourself? So Hatim Tai replied that upon one occasion I was traveling and I was hungry, and I stopped at the house of this old man, and I asked him for something to eat. And this man presented the maghaz, the brain of the goat. And I ate, and I just mentioned that the maghaz is tasty. This food is very tasty. I just said that much. This old man stood up, he had 10 goats outside. He slaughtered all of them. He took out the mothers for the 10 goats and he presented it in front of him. So then the man asked Hatimtai, that what did you give him in return? So Hatimtai replied that I went back with so many thousands of goats and so many cattle and I gave it back to him as a gift. So the man said to Hatimtai that it means that you are more generous because he only slaughtered 10 goats and you gave him so many thousands of goats and cattle. So Hatimtai replied that no, he is more generous than me because I gave him little of what I had and he gave me everything of what he had. So he is more generous than me. So respected elders and friends, that is our history. That is where we come from. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to practice on whatever has been said. There are two announcements. The first announcement is any unfinished dealings. We all heard of Akram Abu Isa passing away. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannah. If anyone had any unfinished dealing that needs to be looked at, then kindly contact Yunus by Isa or Yusuf by Isa. Kindly contact Yunus Isa or Yusuf Isa. The second announcement is that we have a scholar with us, Maulana Hassan Saab from South Africa, who's going to be here for the next few days. Inshallah, he'll be giving a lecture tomorrow after Maghrib Salah at Masjid Fatima Zahra in Makeni. We should all try and attend that lecture. And on Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, there will be Bukhari Khatam, the Khatam of Bukhari at Makeni Masjid. We should all try and attend it.